the pace. This is the mental pressure right here. Well, that was a surge by Mayweather.
You can't with us, man. Quit playing, man. I looked at you like a little brother, and then I ain't really that mad at you because you just a little easily influenced. Like I'm really mad at Floyd because he got you doing this.
Oh, okay.
But in a real fight time with 8-ounce gloves on, bye.
Thing about Tank is just assuming he's going to be able to step up and fight an A-level guy. He's never even fought a B-level guy. He's never even unified. Like, not only is he fighting these low-level guys.
Recent events have stirred up controversy in the boxing world following Gervonta "Tank" Davis's latest fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, Adrien Broner shared his thoughts, claiming that the match was rigged and that Roach was unfairly denied a victory he deserved. Floyd Mayweather also stepped in, providing insight and revealing the truth behind the controversy.
If this kid said he'd been training every day for years, every day in boxing, I'm somewhere in Aruba, in the Bahamas, in Dubai, I'm traveling the world on my jet, making millions.
Has Mayweather done good McGregor's pace?
Gervonta Davis rose from the tough neighborhoods of Baltimore to become one of boxing's most exciting talents. Known for his knockout power and strong personality, Davis quickly climbed the ranks, winning multiple world titles in various weight classes. His partnership with Floyd Mayweather's promotional company helped boost his profile, positioning him as a possible heir to Mayweather's legacy. However, as Davis's career progressed, tensions started to build. Broner felt left behind as Davis leaned more toward Mayweather's camp. In an interview, Broner shared his feelings about Davis leaving Mayweather Promotions, saying simply, "I don't care." This comment hinted at deeper issues between the two fighters.
No, I haven't talked to him about it, but we talked about it before. You know, we talked about it a few times, but you know, now that he is doing his own thing, I hope the best for him, and I hope he is big as the world. I don't care, I just want to do good.
He keeps alluding that there was something wrong there, that he wasn't happy with the support that he was getting. You know, is there something there from what he's saying, from what your relationship with him?
That's not really for me to come out and talk about. You know, I'll wait until he's comfortable with saying and letting people know his business. But you know, now that he's on his own, you know, I hope it Lord.
McGregor keeps him there, you know, keeps Floyd from being able to get off. Be careful, no.
Adrien Broner and Gervonta Davis once shared a close bond that went beyond just boxing. Broner, a former multi-division world champion, took Davis under his wing and helped guide him through the early part of his career. Their friendship was clear, with Broner often calling Davis his little brother. However, Broner has been open about the growing distance between him and Davis. He reflects on the time when they were inseparable, but admits that their relationship eventually became strained. Broner believes that Davis felt let down by him, which has led to the awkwardness between them today.
Like right now, me and Tank, it's weird because he loved me to death. He know I love him to death, but we don't talk every day how we used to. Nigga, it used to be a time where you ain't see me without Tank, or you ain't see Tank without me. But what happened was, I think what happened was, he just like, damn, bro. I feel like he look up to me so much. It's like, I let him down. Cause he's somebody that really know, like, what I can do and how good I am. And it's like, he feel like, man, you tripping. You know what I mean?
Now warning him to keep those punches upstairs in those early rounds. A lot of times
He acknowledged that he didn't have the necessary resources to fully support Davis as his career began to take off. Recognizing this, he decided to introduce Davis to Mayweather, believing it was the best move for his future. Broner explained, "I didn't have everything. That's why I gave Tank to Floyd."
I brought him to the gym with an AB shirt on. But I didn't have everything right yet. You know, everything wasn't moving yet. You know, I was a little slow on my feet. So I gave him the floor. And every time we bring it up, Floyd like, "Thank you, AB. You gave me a good one."
Does that feel like a win for About Billions Promotions as well?
Of course, because at the end of the day, I don't care who promotes Gervonta Davis. I'm still going to support him. Same way. You know, he's a little brother to me.
Tank been around us since he was like 17, 16. Adrien was already famous on TV and everything. He brought him on the internet. Clint didn't even know him. Blew him out. Let him live with him.
Now warning him to keep those punches upstairs in those early rounds. A lot of times he's Mayweather landing a couple of hundred.
Under Mayweather's guidance, Davis reached great success, but their relationship was not without its struggles. Reports suggest that Mayweather was often outspoken about Davis's performance in the ring, at times even criticizing him publicly. This tension played a role in Davis's decision to leave Mayweather Promotions, as he sought more independence in his career.
Tank Vince out on social media. He's been through a lot, throughout his life. So, but I take my hat off to him. I'm proud of him. Saturday night we had a game plan, and a lot of times when he says certain things on social media, I say, he's to me he's still a kid, and when I was that age, I probably would have did the same thing. I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather to stand behind me and tell me, about what's right and what's wrong. He got the job done, but my hat off to Ryan Garcia, tough competitor, tough fighter, and the best man won.
Setting himself well after 6 minutes and again going on the attack. If you look at him.
The recent fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach ended in a controversial majority draw. A key moment came in the 9th round when Davis took a knee after receiving a jab from Roach. Normally this would be considered a knockdown, but the referee chose not to penalize Davis, allowing the fight to continue without any interruption.
What if Tank Davis is a fraud, right? Let's just put it out there. What if he's a fraud? I know what you guys are thinking. Jerry, stop it. You're hating. There's no way. You don't know that. I don't know that. We've never seen him fight a B-level fighter. Mario Barrios, these guys aren't B-level. Frank Martin ain't B-level guys. Stop the bullshit. It's always a thought in the back of my head, right? And I don't think Tank is a fraud. I would pick him over Devin Haney, a guy I'm really high on still after the Ryan Garcia situation, and Vasily Lomachenko, a guy I'm still high on at this old age. But we really don't know. There's really no evidence backing that he could beat Devin Haney or Lomachenko. Everything about Tank is just assuming he's going to be able to step up and fight an A-level guy. He's never even fought a B-level guy. He's never even unified. Like, not only is he fighting these low-level guys, but he's not looking the most impressive doing so. I mean, Frank Martin, he was arguably down to. He was down against Rolly Romero. He was down against Mario Barrios. Even Isaac Cruz was a very close fight, a 7-5 fight. And yes, of course, he's getting the knockout against, most of these guys. I'm not going to sit here and argue that. But we got to admit, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, they're going to be a lot harder to knock out than Mario Barrios, than Leo Santa Cruz. We got to admit this. So what happens if the knockout doesn't present itself? It's safe to assume Tank is going to be down tremendously on the scorecards. Like I said, I don't think Tank is going to get exposed or nothing. Like, he's not going to be an elite fighter when he steps up in competition. But it's something in the back of my mind. What if Tank is just a B-level guy? What if he's just a guy who's been beaten on C and D-level guys and he's really a B?
We know that both of these guys are not averse to bending the rules, but the hammer fist.
The referee's decision not to count Davis's knee as a knockdown caused a lot of frustration among fans and boxing analysts. Many felt this mistake changed the outcome of the fight, unfairly denying Roach Jr. the win he deserved. As a result, accusations of the fight being rigged started to spread, with some people blaming Davis's camp and the officials. Commentators Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne discussed the controversial decision during the Davis-Roach fight. They both agreed that if the knee had been counted as a knockdown, Roach Jr. would have won for sure. Their discussion also raised concerns about the quality of officiating in boxing.
Won this fight. Oh, really? When the fight was over, the first thing I said was, it's either going to be a draw or it's going to be a close decision to Lamont Roach. If they call this knee a knockdown, which they should have.
They should have.
A knee in boxing should have counted the knockdown. It is what it is. We're not going to sit here and act like it's not. He wins that fight.
Yep. Look at his confidence, though. He's stalking Gervonta.
I'm going to tell you when his confidence went through the roof. After Gervonta took that knee and then went to his corner, Gervonta came back with a flurry. And Gervonta was landing.
And Lamont handled it all.
Handled it. After that, I was like, oh, Lamont ain't scared at all. Look at this. It's in the 6th round.
But look at his defense. Like, Lamont's defense is absolutely phenomenal. He's always ready to punch back. Look at him. Phenomenal.
And Tank was hitting him hard.
Yeah.
Look at Roach's face at the end of the fight. He's swollen.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Tank wasn't landing on him.
Nah, this kid can, both of them.
Roach is tough, man. And then it's the whole Maryland, D.C. thing. Like, Roach can't get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? He get knocked out. I got to go back to DC. He got knocked out by Tank.
Nah, I can't do it.
He fighting for a whole city.
Yeah, and it's really Baltimore, DC.
Baltimore, DC.
You know,
that's right.
The rest of Maryland, nobody's really giving a fuck. That's the real. You know what I mean? Like if you're from Buckhead or wherever the fuck. What's the? No, not Buckhead.
I don't know.
There's some shit that like.
No disrespect, Maryland. I only know Baltimore.
It's where all the white people live that work in DC but don't want to live there.
Oh, you talk about
PG
where?
County?
No, you talking about where that fucking where the resort is? Oh, I know exactly. I was just there. I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't remember right now.
Anyway,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But we've had 2 very high level boxing matches in the last few weeks: the Beterbiev and Bivol fight. And this one, like, this is boxing at its best.
It's at its fucking best. It's make you love the sport.
It really does.
And this is why boxing is a great sport, because it's so unpredictable.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, it was something about Roach's confidence that was like, made me feel like, oh, Roach gonna be all right in that fight.
Look at that. Look at that. These guys are in a phone booth.
Good boxing, man.
Both of them, yeah. Like
good boxing.
I want to watch this 3 more times.
Yeah, if you look at them right in their stances.
In the 9th round, Gervonta Davis surprised everyone by taking a knee, saying his eye was irritated from hair grease. Roach Jr. was skeptical about this explanation, questioning how Davis could suddenly be experiencing discomfort when there had been no signs of it earlier in the fight. Roach Jr. pointed out that regardless of whether it was sweat or something else causing the irritation, a fighter shouldn't be allowed to stop the fight and seek help from their corner without a valid reason.
You know, obviously the part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own. You know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But 2 is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. But even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye. So it's like, it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say, it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me, because I'm right beside him, you could see me like, nigga, what you talking about? So,
right. But you say you don't think he willing though.
Whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Spit fuck around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But you, it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on,
Take no
ref.
time out.
You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
No.
Pops is a no?
Hell no.
Yeah, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
You know how many
Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben after that fight.
But look how many times he fucked the fight up though.
Right.
The knee, him going to the corner to get assistance, like who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating shit or nothing like that. But like he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that. Right. That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref will be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight's off.
Yeah, if you look at them right in their stances.
Famous boxing trainer Greg Hackett has shared his thoughts on a possible rematch between Davis and Roach Jr. Hackett believes that Roach Jr. would approach the rematch with the same energy and determination, looking to secure a clear victory. On the other hand, he suggests that Davis may be reluctant to agree to a rematch, possibly because he has concerns about handling another full 12-round fight with Roach Jr. and his relentless fighting style. Hackett's comments highlight the psychological and strategic factors that fighters and their teams consider when deciding whether to take on a rematch.
Bet on another draw. Bet on the draw. Yeah. It's the best way to go. Bet on the draw. That's where I think you make the money. I think what they gonna do is they gonna even the odds so big, so crazy, you ain't gonna make no money betting on either one of them individually. Yeah. So the money gonna be on the odds. That's just what I think. It didn't come out yet, but if they fight in Vegas and they fight, and to be honest, I don't like that. The fight in Vegas. Bring it back on over to the East Coast. I don't like that.
The DMV makes sense.
I don't like how that smells. Something about the smell when you said Vegas. I don't like how that sounds.
I know a lot of people don't realize that, like, no camp is perfect.
Yeah.
I quote when Gervonta was dealing with some stuff ahead of the fight, like some serious shit. Now, no excuse. Lamont put on a great show, but I'm curious to see what is he going to look like with his plate being clean now?
Right. I think, honestly, it don't matter whether he going through something or not. You know why? He respects Lamont, and we seen it. And I'm not just saying that because of how Lamont did. I'm talking about you really could see Tank had a lot of respect for Lamont. I got them starting off from the last fight, round 13, going right back into it. And it's going to be a rumble.
So you feel like because of how the first fight went, there's not going to be no filling out. They just going to jump right into it and get busy? Yeah,
because what Lamont knows is if I don't win convincingly, if I don't knock him out, or if I don't beat the shit out of him, they not gonna give it to me. Tank know I can't go another 12 again, cause they gonna really say I have been exposed. That's one of the famous words. He's exposed. He exposed them. You know what I mean? That's the shit everybody say now. So Tank not trying to hear that neither. So Tank gonna be looking to really go in there seek and destroy, but Lamont gonna be on the same.
Give the early rounds to collect data. Conor McGregor last fight with that rabbit punch that Gervonta landed, but.
Before the controversy, Davis had few options for big, high-profile fights. However, the disputed outcome of his match with Roach Jr. has sparked new interest in a rematch. This gives Davis a chance to address the controversial result and prove his position in the division. A rematch could be a great opportunity for Davis to demonstrate his toughness and ability to adapt, potentially opening doors for future matches with other top fighters.
Kind of running out of available options for meaningful fights that look realistic in the here and now, right? He tried to fight Lomachenko. Loma said he didn't want to fight, so that fell out the window in 2024. Maybe it can be revisited. Rayo just lost to Gary Antoine Russell. I was looking at Rayo as a possible Tank foe. We do know that Team Tank reached out to Team Rayo at a point. So fast forward to the future. Shakur is doing deals with Turkey and Eddie Hearn. Seems like an obstacle. Tank says Eddie Hearn's a snake in a suit, and he doesn't seem to jive well with Turkey. Like he's like, this picture looks like a cult. It looked weird, and he's taking shots at the whole movement. You know what I mean? The whole Saudi stuff. So for me, I think this is great for Tank Davis because now you can rob the bank twice, run it back. Fans feel a type of way, which we'll talk about more. And you get to, like I said, rob the bank twice, run it back, get the clarity that boxing fans want. And then you can worry about the next move. Now, this is funny. I tell you guys all the time, there's a lot of low quality content in the world of boxing. Right? The usual suspects, the resistance.
We know that both of these guys are not averse to bending the rules, but the hammer fist.
In their first fight, Roach Jr. gave an impressive performance, putting up a strong challenge against Davis and making it a close contest. Despite his solid efforts, the scorecards didn't seem to reflect the rounds he clearly dominated. This discrepancy could be due to Davis's reputation and popularity, especially as a big draw in pay-per-view events. It raises ongoing questions about whether a fighter's marketability or public image influences how judges score a match. The fight between Davis and Roach Jr. has sparked considerable debate within the boxing world, particularly around issues like in-ring conduct, fairness in officiating, and the complexities of rematches. As the boxing community looks ahead to what could come next, the stories of both fighters continue to evolve, showing just how unpredictable and dynamic the sport can be.
Good footwork, really disciplined footwork. You never saw him lunging in. He was never able to time him. Gervonta, that is. He was never able to time Roach. He edged his way forward. It was discipline personified. That is what you need to do against a counterpunch. You can't make mistakes. You can't overcommit. And that is what Roach did. I also thought Roach was great with the left hook. The left hook landed pretty well. And we saw Gervonta taking a lot more clean shots than we've seen in recent fights. I mean, he really was doing really well. And it was up close as well. It was up close. He worked really well on the inside, Roach. And he was punching on the turn as well. So when Gervonta was trying to, use lateral movement and pivot out, Roach would follow him around and keep throwing punches. And that was really good as well because, when a counterpuncher or when anybody is on the move like that, it's extremely hard for them to counter you. So that is when you can commit a little bit more. And there were moments in the fight when Gervonta was in front of him with a high guard and Roach was throwing 3-4 punch combinations. Most of them weren't landing, but you'd get the third shot in or the fourth shot in. And overall, I just felt like it was a great game plan from Roach. I really did. And I have to be honest, during the fight, mid-rounds, I was like, okay, I expect it to start slipping away from now. I'd sort of almost built this narrative in my head of what I normally see with a Tank Davis fight. And before the fight, I was saying, you know, first few rounds, expect Roach to probably rack up a few points. Gervonta will start to work him out, down the information, and then he'll start timing him. But as it went on, it just didn't happen. It just never came. And Roach rolled on, and he did such a good job. And I think that, look, I'm giving Roach all the credit here. It was close regardless. This was a close fight. He didn't win all the rounds. There were moments where Gervonta was having a little more success than landing those shots to the body, landing clean punches.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned.